application for the construction of a two-family duplex located at 12 Laurel Place, block 413, lot 17.01, zoning district R-5A.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, members of the staff. My name is Dennis Wilson. I'm attorney at the office right on the side of the building. Here this evening on behalf of 12 Laurel Place LLC. With respect to this application, seeking to the zoning district in the state of Chairperson. An application which the use which is permitted in the zone based upon the configuration of the building gives rise to the need for certain fault variances. To put this matter in context, I'd like to call the first witness, Ronald Weaver, who is principal of the exterior of the building.
Mr. Weaver, can you raise your right hand? State your name, spell your last name.
Ronald Weaver, R-E-V-A.
Mr. Weaver, am I correct? You are a principal of 12 Laurel Place LLC?
Yes. It's a corporation.
Okay, good. Corporation. And what's your present what's your present occupation?
I'm an administrative lawyer.
And before you became a judge, you were practicing attorney in New Jersey?
Yes.
In the Boston South River? Yes. Now, can you tell me, Mr. Weaver, how long 12 Laurel Place Corporation has owned this property?
March 1st, 2002, approximately 11 years.
And at the time that the property was purchased, did you act not only as a principal of the acquiring entity, but also as the attorney for the entity?
Yes.
And in the discharge of the responsibility of the attorney for the entity, did you do a title search, or did you have a survey performed of the property prior to actually acquiring the property?
Yes.
And did the search disclose any easements on the property?
No.
Did the survey that was performed at the time disclose any underground piping on that property?
No.
And based upon the search and survey, did you go ahead with your co-principal and purchase the property?
Yes, I did.
And when you purchased the property, what did you intend to do?
To develop the property as best use.
And at the time, what did you consider its best use to be?
I spoke to representatives from the city and other individuals and have a townhouse property.
Can we ask that all cell phones please be turned off?
I will turn off the cell phone. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to go to chatting.
Okay, so you had intentions to develop it with some residential units, is that correct?
That's correct. This is the length of the property.
And did you proceed to do that which was necessary in order to concretize that whole plan of intention with respect to development?
I had hired architects to develop architectural plan, engineering plan, and I used it from multi-projects to townhouse project.
And at the time that you began formulating those plans, where did you intend to place the building?
It's toward the rear of the property.
Now,
the driveway going into the property up to the parking area.
and just perhaps orient the board a little bit, can you describe the uses on each side of this lot?
The multiple two-family houses on the other side of the property. On one side, there's an apartment house. On the other side, there's a small one-family house, which actually we were looking to buy that lot at the time I was purchasing this property in order to have a 50-foot driveway
Now, at some point, did your plans with respect to where the improvement would go change?
Yes.
When and why?
I had to talk in 2000, I hired an engineer, Mr. Demura, who had actually made engineering plans for the property, numerous, many changes. And one day I was in my office and I received a phone call from Mr. Demura, who was actually out on the property. He said, "When the others, I found a storm sewer on the property."
Piping was going through it?
On the property, which ran across the entire middle of the property. That's property half.
So, as a result of that, your plans changed, is that correct?
Quite a bit.
Because the area available for development was now,
Everything was centered toward the front of the property.
okay. And then your orientation was to put a building toward the front of the property, correct?
That's correct.
Now, we have an architect here, and we have a planner here, so we're not going to go out of detail. But just generally, can you describe the building, assuming the variance is granted, the building which you expect to propose to build on that property?
It's a small duplex for the front of the property with some off-street parking.
Okay.
But we tear down the project quite a bit. And we conform to the requirements of the borough and the township of the city.
Well, you can't conform completely because of the way you front.
That's the problem.
I have no further questions.
Any other board members?
Okay, thank you. Let me call Justin Osceola.
Doesn't need to raise that thing, we'll put the name for the last name.
So my name is first name Justin, last name Osceola, A-U-C-I-E-L-O-L. Yes, I do.
Mr. Osceola, where's your profession?
I'm a planner. I've been licensed as a planner since 2008. I testified in front of this board a couple of years ago. But I testified on applications ranging from variance, very simple variance testimony up to master planning, redevelopment plan, the whole litany of planning-related activities.
Well, that's it.
Now, Mr. Osceola, did you familiarize yourself, are you familiar with this application?
Yes, I spent many hours with the file itself. I've been out to the property on many occasions. I'm very familiar with the application and also as the zoning ordinance and the master plan with the file itself.
Now, can you just give a general, we'll get into details in a moment, but just a general description, not of the buildings, if we have an architect who can address that, but of how this site fits in with that neighborhood.
Okay, well, what we're presenting, and I'm going to be very general when I speak about it, but what we're presenting, use which is permitted to the zone. This neighborhood, and especially Laurel Place, is a mixture of one-family and two-family homes. As you heard from the previous witness, there's a mixture of uses. There is this apartment building to the north of our property. Again, there's one family and two family. There's a brook to the west, and then beyond that is Franklin Township. When we speak about the property itself, this is a very oddly shaped lot. This is a flag lot, which is the number one, the first hardship here, and number two, leading from the rear of the property, from the apartment building to the rear of this property, or to the center rear of the property, there's an easement for a sewer. So what we're dealing with is a oddly shaped lot, number one, which constrains the placement of the building. And number two, we're dealing with a sewer easement, which essentially prohibits any type of development beyond that easement to the west.
Okay, now you heard Judge Reed speak in terms of an adjoining use is a apartment building?
Yes.
Is that the only, based upon your examination of everything you examined, is that the only apartment building in that area?
That's the only use that's added character with the predominant character of this neighborhood, which is a mixture of one family and two family homes.
And that use is right next door to this lot?
Adjacent, yes, that's lot 431, lot, 18.10. So that's the, and we're 17.01. So that is right next door to what that's adjacent.
Now, based upon your review and preparation for the testimony, did you identify variances which are required for this proposal? You may direct your attention to the development application review form dated April 22nd, 2013, that was prepared by city planner Mark Seaver. Does that help you?
Yes.
With respect to the variances that are required?
Yes, I'm going to read from the review letter that was dated April 22nd of this year. We require variances for lot width, required is 80 feet, proposed is 25 feet. Existing, that's the character of the lot. Required variance for building setback line. Required is 5 feet of mean, and as proposed is 26 prior to the high mean that requires a variance. Required variances for side yard setback. Required is 25 feet. It's 25 to 15. What we proposed is 3.13 and 8.25. So that's it. And
Hold on. That's it reported to the bulk requirement chart, correct?
yes.
Now, further on, in Mr. Seaver's report, he notes that
And yes, in the letter prepared on April 22nd, this is different from the previous iterations of the letter. It calls out a variance for the orientation of the building. States that front facade, all principal structures shall be parallel to the street.
I'm not going to ask you to address that particularly, because the architect will address that particularly. But basically, you've outlined the variances, which are both variances which are required, correct?
Correct.
And they all relate to what condition of that lot?
Well, this relates, this is a classic C1 hardship. This relates to the character of the lot itself. It relates to dealing with the flag lot. So the way that I see it is that the portion leading from the street into the center portion is the pole. Then the center portion to the rear is the flag itself. So we're dealing with a situation whereby to access the site, to build on the site, you need to essentially build upon that pole area, because we have a hardship with the sewer easement running through that, which precludes any kind of development in that area. We're also dealing with the variances for the side yard setback that relates due to the narrow width of the pole portion. And the pole portion also triggers variances for building setback line. Yeah, it's a straight C1 hardship which relates directly to the way that the lot is positioned to the property itself.
Now, did you do an analysis with respect to the properties within 200 feet in terms of properties in compliance with the width and frontage requirements set out in the zoning ordinance?
Yes, I prepared an exhibit which relates to the properties that meet and don't meet the lot width requirement. And I have an exhibit which I can mark.
You have to mark this as A1? Can we do that? Please, Mr. Clerk.
To give a description of this, this is an aerial image. An aerial image with an overlay using tax records to determine compliance with the lot width requirement. I can direct your attention to the legend, red. Any property that's any lot that's denoted in red does not meet the lot width requirement. Any property that's denoted in green does meet the lot width requirement. As you can see in this exhibit A1, the vast majority of properties within 200 feet of the subject property, which is lot 1701, does not meet the lot width requirement. So not only are we dealing with a hardship due to the flag lot shape on this property, the predominant character of the surrounding area is defined by properties that do not meet the width requirement. So that's another argument as to the character of the surrounding area, not just this property itself.
Now, if you have not, you referred to it, but a little bit more detail. Did you review the city's master plan?
Yes, I did.
And what finding,
Well, the master plan and the zoning ordinance, actually the zoning ordinance, the intent of this district, which is the R5A district, this district permits single-family and two-family residential areas. The intent is to promote the expansion and preservation of the integrity of medium-density single-family and two-family residential areas. Certainly, as proposed, we have a permitted use. The proposal meets this intent. I mean, I can't see how it wouldn't in the context of the property area. Also, one thing that I would like to add as well, we do have the C1 hardship argument. We also, from the C2 standpoint, this advanced purposes of the MOU states land use law. There's sufficient space in appropriate location for the use. Also, the population density is appropriate in the context of the neighborhood. Again, this is a two-family use which is permitted.
now, you also, the board is very familiar with the statutory standards concerning the positive criteria and the negative criteria, and you have an opinion within reasonable degree of planning certainty as to whether or not this proposal meets the positive criteria in terms of hardship, in terms of the need, in terms of the configuration of the plot.
Yes, this is in my opinion as a planner, this is a clear single hardship. Plus, it also advances the C2 element. When we weigh the positive criteria, we need to make a determination if the positive will outweigh the negative. Certainly, I think they do. There's not going to be a substantial detriment to the public good.
All right, but maybe I'm just talking about the positive criteria, you get the negative criteria.
So from positive criteria based upon my prior testimony, it certainly meets positive criteria.
So you know it also must meet the negative criteria, correct?
Correct.
You have an opinion with a reasonable degree of planning certainty as to whether or not the relief can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good.
Yes, yes, it can. Based upon number one, this use, this is permitted use. As you can hear from the architect, this is going to be a well-designed use. This use is going to fit within the context of the neighborhood. And certainly, yes, we are dealing with a hardship situation which is driving these bulkheads. So certainly, the detriments, there will certainly not be a substantial detriment to the public good, because for many reasons that I just mentioned, but also the fact that this is a use which is permitted. And the alternative, it's either having this use or having nothing at all, essentially.
And you have an opinion within a reasonable degree of planning certainty as to whether or not we meet the criteria of, will not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zone plan and zoning ordinance. Is your opinion that in fact, this will not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zone plan and zoning ordinance?
Yes,
What's your opinion?
in fact, it will not impair the intent of the zone plan and zoning ordinance. The overall purpose of the ordinance mirrors that of the state land use law. Certainly, as I just said, positive criteria, you need two purposes of the land use law, sufficient space in the residential area in this instance, in the location, and also the appropriate population density. When I speak to the intent, whether or not this meets the intent of the zone plan, again, this is the R5A district. This district permits this proposed use, therefore we will not, therefore we will meet the intent of the zone district.
I have no further